Myself, Dr.k Viswanath Allamraju, Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Dundigal, Hyderabad, India. Today I am going to discuss some of the topics in the module of shear force and bending moment diagrams. In the last class, I have discussed introduction about shear force and bending moment diagrams, types of beams, and types of supports. Today we are going to discuss further topics in relation to shear force and bending moment diagrams. Some of the examples in relation to application of beams we can see in the coming slides. Here we can see it as it is a fixed. We can see it as it is the fixed support. These are all fixed supports. Okay. Here, if you are going to different fixed supports, how many reactions are going to take place? There will be three reactions. Number one, it is vertically upwards. This is called reaction vertical. It is denoted by RV. Another one is reaction horizontal. It is RH. There will be another reaction. That reaction is the momentum reaction. Yeah. Similarly, always we have to consider while calculating the shear force calculation and bending moment calculations. These reactions are very useful in order to find out the variation of shear force and bending moment throughout the span of the beam. So let us here, we can see it more better. So the point is that this is the hinged support. We can see this support is the hinged support completely. In the screen, this is the hinge support of Sydney Harbour Bridge. So hinged support means practically we can see it. What is the role of hinged support in bridges? How many reactions are going to take place in this case? For hinged support, there will be two reactions. Here, vertical RV, and it is horizontal and RH. The direction of horizontal reaction and vertical reaction depends upon the type of force, the type of load is being acted on a beam. Here it is another support. This support is called rocker support in a structure. Here you can see it. This is the rocker support. Why it is called a rocker? This is the curvature. This curvature makes the body when there is due to variation of the loads under dynamic loads. This is not constrained. It can move little bit with a very minute level of motion. Oscillation will be there. That's called rocking. This is a rocker support. We can see here practically on the bridges. These are all nut and bolt arrangements which used to support the foundation. Next, we can see here types of how practically simply support takes place on beams. There is a simply support here. This simply support here, you can see the person is working here. This is one of the support. Okay, this is another end. It is extended simply support, but actually we can call it as here. This is extended, but there is another column is going to take place. Okay, that's why here one reaction, vertical reaction, here another vertical reaction. So simply support always consists or supported by, simply supported beam is supported by either knife edge support or roller support. The denoted roller support is denoted by the symbol. Roller support is denoted by the symbol. Here it is roller support. Whereas knife edge is supported by symbol in mechanics of solids. It is the knife edge. This is the edge is knife. What is the contact between the roller support and knife edge support to the beam? Is a point contact. So in that manner, we can see practically how these knife edge supports, roller supports will be supported for beams in the case of bridge construction. This is the metro railway station, how it is simply supported beams are taking place. Now, this is another type of beam. In order to understand better, here it is. This figure indicates there are hinged. This is the arch completely. This arch consists of hinged. This is the internal hinge. These are internal hinge. These are the hinges. As we have seen, Harbour Bridge. This is called same, similar manner. This is the hinge support. How many reactions are going to take place in the case of hinge support? Yes, two reactions will be taken place. One is vertical reaction, another one is horizontal reaction. Similarly, here also one is vertical reaction, another one is a horizontal reaction. You may get doubt, what is the direction of horizontal reaction, whether it is towards the hinge support or away from the hinge support. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Suppose if we assume it is towards acting and find out the calculations, if it comes to positive value, then our direction of assumption is the right one. And if suppose it comes, the answer is a negative answer, then that means our assumption of direction is opposite to one. It's opposite to one. So it doesn't matter. So that can go it always. We can consider one type of reactions while calculating shear forces and bending moments over your beams. Now, this is the hinged arch. This is completely supported. How it is practically taking place, we can see with the help of supports, especially hinged support. Here it shows in this figure. Yeah, coming to the types of beams, there are various types of beams are there. As we have studied in the last class also, let us give a small glance over this. Here, simply supported beam. In this case of simply supported beam, what is the simply supported beam? Here only one reaction is there. Here one reaction for simply supported beam. Here another reaction for a simply supported beam. If the load is being acted on this beam vertically downwards. So we will study types of loads in the coming session. But in order to understand the types of beams, there are various types of beams are there. Simply supported beam, overhanging beam, cantilever beam, and fixed beams. These are the four types. And one more type also there, that is called continuous beam. As per our syllabus, we have only four types of beams. Now, here what is the meaning of simply supported beam? Here only one reaction is taking place. We can understand here, the simply supported beam is carried or is supported by knife edge support. At point A, here consider, and it is the point B. And suppose at point B, what support is there? Only one reaction. It can be either knife edge support or roller support. These are the symbols for in order to show the reactions or in order to show the supports. Now here it is knife edge support, or it is called knife edge support or roller support. That's why only one reaction is acting vertically upwards. What is that? How can we know by looking at, by glancing physically, is this simply supported beam or cantilever beam? Yes, we can easily identify, we can easily recognize the types of beam very easily. Here, this is the beam length is there. This is the span, the complete span of beam. The span of the beam is throughout here at edge, at complete at ends, supported by the supports. The beam is supported by at the ends, then it is called simply supported beam. If there is some extension to this beam, either left hand side or right hand side, either left hand side or right hand side, yeah, it becomes a overhanging beam here. Yes, here you can see the overhanging beam. What is overhanging beam? It is a simply supported on two supports. Only one reaction is acting. That means you can understand here it is either it is in a knife edge support or roller support. That's only one reaction. Suppose here now, but here it is in this beam, it is extension is there after the support towards the right direction. Okay, then it is called simply supported, either right hand side or left hand side direction, then or both sides. Then that beam called as or known as overhanging beam. It's called overhanging. The meaning itself defines a beam having extra overhang. Then it is called as overhanging beam. If the beam is exactly support at the supports, then it is called as a simply supported beam. So how can we know what type of cross section and all? Here we are only considering, now we are not considering the cross section of the beam. We are considering the shear forces and bending movements effect or under the loads, how it is being acted by at different loads, what is the shear force changing, and what is bending moment variation is being taking place at a particular load. Next, coming to the next type of beam, then it is called as cantilever beam. Yeah, let us see here. This cantilever beam, we can see it is a fixed at one end, free at another end. The simple line diagram, we can see it is the simple fixed at one end, free at other end. Okay. Now, what is the fixed at one end means how many reactions are going to take place? There will be 3 reactions based upon the load. Suppose if we consider it, there is a beam, cantilever beam, supported by a point load vertically downwards. Now, how many reactions are going to take place? Yes, one reaction is horizontal, vertically upwards. Another one is RH, horizontal reaction. The third one is moment reaction, because the fixed supports consists of what? 3 reactions. Okay. Next, the types of beam. Yeah, coming to the back, this is a fixed beam. Fixed beam means both ends will be fixed by supports, fixed supports. In this case, beam, both ends are rigidly fixed. As we have seen above application, both ends in the concrete structure, both ends are fixed with the help of nut and bolts mechanism, nut and bolts fitting. Okay, then it is fixed beam, where it will be taking place. If you want to join 2 structures with the help of a bridge, then what happens with the help of some structure? Though that structure should be fixed at both ends. That's why it is called fixed beam. So how many reactions are going to take place in the case of fixed beam? Yes, horizontal, vertical reaction 1, vertical reaction, horizontal reaction 1. Similarly here at this point, vertical reaction 2, horizontal reaction 2. And what about momentum reaction at this point? And here momentum reaction, there will be 6 unknowns. Okay, that's why here, but 6 unknowns we have to find out in order to define or describe the characteristics or behavior or the effect of the load, particular load, how the shear forces and bending moments are being varied. With this, the types of beams are completed. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.